The Family History Foundation. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a fun one. We are looking at a history of the Union Jack flag explained. That is the Union Jack. It's the English, the British flag, all mixed in one with the Scottish and Irish flag, but this classic, iconic piece of symbology and vexillology. What is vexillology? It's the study of flags. And so we're going to look at a history of this Union Jack and explain its component parts, why it has horizontal and vertical stripes, why does it have diagonal stripes, and what are the white and red, blue, what does it all mean, where does it come from? Well, it's a history of the British Isles. And at the very end, you have to stick around because I'm going to explain terms like Great Britain and England and the United Kingdom. Did you know that they're actually different terms that kind of overlap? So we're going to give you a little bit of terminology so you can educate yourself and you can understand exactly what this iconic piece of flaggery means. And so basically starting us off, welcome to the Family History Foundation, and like, subscribe if you want, and make sure to get yourself ready, because because what we know as the history of the Union Jack flag is a 3-layered cake, or like 3 Legos, consisting of 1, the English cross of St. George, right? 2, the blue and white Scottish Saltire cross of St. Andrew, and 3, the red and white Irish cross of St. Patrick. All of that is what you see here in our flag below. Okay, so it came at different points in times. It started off with the English flag and slowly got sort of layered over to produce this iconic Union Jack. That's what we have, Union Jack, because it's a union of several different countries politically and geographically and historically. Okay, so the Union Jack flag came into its current and final form in 1801 with the Kingdom of Ireland's union with the Kingdom of Great Britain. Okay, so this historic addition changed the name of the nation to its present United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, which is the formal name for the United Kingdom. Okay, United Kingdom of Great Britain, which we'll talk about later, what that means geographically, how to pinpoint that on a map, and Northern Ireland. Okay, so here's our Union Jack, and when we want to decipher what it means, right, you can tell all your friends at the party, or the next time you see a flag, you can point out exactly, where they all came from. And of course, this piece of vexillology is still currently found in many flags across the world, former British colonies or associates of the British Empire at one point, most commonly throughout the Caribbean and Hawaii and a few other places. Okay, so here we go. As you saw in the beginning image, this is how we decipher it. Okay, so look closely at the English St. George cross, right, and follow the arrows. Okay, this is very important, and we're going to go through this bit by bit and look at the evolution of how these layers overlap with one another. But just to kind of clue you in, right, this cross here is the original cross, which was on a white background, and if you're English, you would recognize this, and including this white bit here, right, because the whole field of the flag of the English cross is white. Okay, and then overlaid that is the Scottish St. Andrew's cross, right? So these sort of diagonal bits here and the blue, okay? These diagonal white bits and the blue, because the Scottish Saltire cross is a blue field with white. And then the Irish Saltire cross, and I'll explain the term Saltire coming up if it's unfamiliar to you, which is basically these red bits here with a white background. So this is what it comes from, and that's it. Pretty simple, but it's all historical. Okay, so let's get into the history of it. And in order to understand the history of our Union Jack flag, one must learn a bit about the history of England. There's no going around that, okay? Maybe you didn't want a history lesson coming to here, but we'll keep it brief, okay? The current idea of Great Britain has its origins in the ancient Anglo-Saxon English crowns and their conquests of the outlying territories of Wales and Scotland. And we're talking medieval times here, right? Pre-1066. Although the Anglo-Saxons did war or battle against the Welsh it was really the Plantagenet dynasty that ultimately subdued the Welsh, Scots, and Irish. I think some of my DNA are kicking back with that statement. Welsh, Scots, and Irish. Ironically, though, the Welsh would later gain regnal control, which is kingly control or monarchical control, during the Tudor dynasty, and the Scots, of course, during and somewhat before the Stuart dynasty. And also, I'm kind of adding in that the kings and queens of Scotland had been intermarrying with the English royalty, Anglo-Saxon royalty, before the conquest in 1066. So ultimately, very much intertwined with what we consider early English dynastic genetics, genealogy, history. Okay, so in essence, the Union Jack is a Lego-like interpretation of history woven into the fabric of this iconic flag. And this is where vexillology, and if you highlight this word, it's the study of flags, where it meets history, okay? And fascinating stuff. And the history of the Union Jack started out with England alone and subsequently added each conquest, we'll just in parentheses call it a union because it's a Union Jack, into its design. And Scotland in 1707, and then Ireland in 1801, and then Northern Ireland in 1922. Okay, so let's look at these one by one. And we start off with the English flag of St. George, St. George's Cross, which is very, very iconic if you are English. And I have English genetics as well. And this is a very, very powerful sort of source of imagery. And the interior core, okay, of our Union Jack is the English flag, represented by the cross of St. George, the patron saint of England. And this is still a symbol of national and cultural heritage. So we're going to overlay, right, all of our other designs over this cross, and it's going to produce this mishmash, which kind of ends up being a very, very beautiful, iconic flag. But this is the base of it, right? England's always the base of it. So after years of war against its western and northern neighbors, England never entirely subdued the wild and crazy Scots. No one actually has. Rather, through acts of usurpation and attrition via the Tudors, the Scottish King James I eventually took over the English throne after the death of Queen Elizabeth. And kind of connecting to American roots, James I was claimant to the throne as the son of the legendary Mary, Queen of Scots. Ooh, did you know that? And it is for Queen Elizabeth that the state of Virginia is named. She was the Virgin Queen. And also for James I that the first permanent English settlement in America was named Jamestown. And if you want to go and visit Jamestown, you can certainly go if you're in the neighborhood in Virginia. Otherwise, you can actually head over to the Family History Foundation, and I'll leave a link in the description below of my visit to Jamestown. And you can check out 30 pictures, images that I took of the museum and of the grounds, the graveyard there at Jamestown. And you can see all these lovely, lovely pictures along with an explanation of what you're seeing. So yeah, head on over there. And anyway, back to our article here. So that's our English flag. Now sort of keep this in your mind visually. We're going to overlay this Scottish flag of St. Andrews. So very, very powerful imagery as well. It's a blue background with a white saltire. Okay, the Union Jack is the Scottish flag represented by the saltire cross of St. Andrews, the patron saint of Scotland. It's the contribution to the flag. And again, a saltire, okay, is a heraldic element actually, so found in heraldry, represented by a diagonal cross, as you see here, right, or an X-shaped symbol. So this is called a saltire cross, okay, and it's overlaid onto this, right, and we get the next version of it, okay, which looks like this. Okay, you see the English St. George, St. Andrew's cross, which produces the next in the series before it became our modern Union Jack. So when the English flag was combined with the Scottish flag, it created the following version of the Union Jack, which was the official flag of Great Britain from 1707 until 1801. So during those years, it was the flag of the empire. And both of the original English and Scottish flags are still flown in their individual forms as a matter of national and cultural pride. So it's really cool to sort of reflect on that, okay? And it's really sort of easy to see that. And what we're going to do when we add the next flag of the Irish is going to fill in this white strip here with another red band, okay? And this is the Irish flag of St. Patrick. And we all know who St. Patrick is because we have St. Patty's Day. Not St. Paddy's Day, St. Paddy's Day, St. Patrick's Day. Do not ever call it St. Patty's Day. That is an abomination. So this red saltire of the Union Jack is the Irish flag, represented by the saltire cross of St. Patrick. And the flag above represented the islands of Ireland. Yet we know that there are Ireland and Northern Ireland now. Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland belongs to the United Kingdom now. Okay, and essentially all of Ireland is Irish. It's just their political associations that divide the islands themselves, as the Republic of Ireland seceded in 1922 and Northern Ireland stayed with the British. Okay, so this red cross, this saltire flag, is also a part of the lore of St. Paddy's Day. Okay, and it's funny that St. Patrick was not English, nor was he a monk. So you can learn about more of that lore in the article I wrote here on familyhistoryfoundation.com. And this cross you see in a few different flags across the world. Again, it's a heraldic element, so it's something found in heraldry. So this X shape can be found in the state flag of Alabama, with a logo in the middle. Basically, the state flag of Alabama is this. And then with a sort of shield logo in the middle is the state flag of Florida, and also the island of Jersey. Okay, and again, think English Channel, not Jersey Shore. Okay, and there got to be a few more as well. Okay, so and that's it. You overlay these three, and here are all the elements that combine into the Union Jack, and that's where you get it. Pretty cool, pretty nifty. And now you know, and you can combine those elements. But we've mentioned England, we've mentioned Scotland, we've mentioned Ireland, we've mentioned the British Isles, we've mentioned Northern Ireland, we've mentioned all these different things. But what does that represent in your mind? If you sort of use your mind's eye now, could you picture the difference between the British Isles and, say, Great Britain? Did you know there's a difference? Well, part of this article is actually devoted to sort of deciphering that, because I really like to explain the differences between those. It's just really good to know. So I have a list here of the British Isles, terms of the British Isles explained. Okay, so, and I made little key maps so that you can actually understand the words. So we're going to cover Britain, Great Britain, okay, United Kingdom, and we're also going to cover British Isles and Ireland. Did you know all those are actually different terms? Okay, maybe Ireland for sure, but Britain, Great Britain, United Kingdom, British Isles, and Ireland. Yes, there are actually 4 different things. For most people, they're all kind of the same if you're not familiar with the area. So let's actually get in there, and you can head over to the article, which is in the link in the description box below, obviously, to take your time, read it, get to the maps, and sort of study it on your own if you want to. Britain is, as I say, this term is a bit cryptic, as it can refer to multiple things. Okay, it's kind of like a Swiss Army knife of tools for the area. It's geographic. The geographic term Great Britain and the political term United Kingdom. Okay, because it's both political and geographic. Britain refers geographically to Great Britain, which you see in the map below, and the political term United Kingdom, which is a different sort of ball of wax, or just plain England. Okay, so you can use it colloquially as Britain. I'm from Britain. And Britain is the catch-all term for when you're too lazy or indisposed to actually say Great Britain or the United Kingdom. Okay, semantically, there's different usages of the word, right? And that's not uncommon. So aside from that, the rest of the following terms should be very precise actually when you use them. And the next term is Great Britain. Okay, now this is a geographic term. Okay, Great Britain is a geographic term referring to the singular island. Okay, and I should have put a little asterisk right here, which includes England, Wales, and Scotland. Okay, so England, where my mouse is moving up and down, Wales, and Scotland. Okay, however, the definition includes its outlier islands such as the Isle of Wight, right? The Isle of Man, and also the Orkneys up here. Okay, so technically Great Britain, although by definition it says the island, it should be an island chain because it also includes these islands up here. Okay, so out following this little red line is actually what Great Britain is. It's this. Okay, the main island and all its subsidiary islands. That's Great Britain. That's what you're looking at. If you've used the term before and it doesn't fit what you think it is, now you know, and you should use it sort of coordinate with this. Okay, so what is the rest of the terms? Yeah, Great Britain is actually different from the United Kingdom. Okay, this is the United Kingdom. It's basically the same outline, except it includes Northern Ireland. Okay, basically the same, except this term, as I say, United Kingdom is a political term. Okay, because it includes the member countries of the kingdom that's united. All of these separate countries are a part of a single united kingdom. Okay, they're their own sovereign countries within a united kingdom, a political conglomerate, whatever you want to refer to. And it refers to the United, and the formal name is the United Kingdom of Great Britain, and Northern Ireland. Okay, and this political amalgam includes England, okay, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Okay, so England, Wales, Scotland, and all of the islands, and Northern Ireland. There you go. Looks like a big bunny rabbit, doesn't it? Basically, both subsets, Great Britain and Northern Ireland, as its name implies. People have shortened United Kingdom, obviously, to the UK. You hear that a lot, or UK music. Oh, I'm from the UK, whatever. I've been to the UK, whatever. Is even a shorter version of the already shorter version of the longer formal variant defined above, which is this. Okay, that's the longer formal variant. And it's kind of a colloquialism, if you like. And, you might not even find it on the BBC because it's that informal. Okay, so the United Kingdom, and I say that because I took that from the BBC website, which sort of disallows its usage. So I thought that was kind of funny. But so that's the United Kingdom, right? Great Britain, including Northern Ireland. And we have the British Isles, which is a whole different, like for genealogy, genetically, I say I'm from the British Isles. My DNA is from the British Isles in doing research. And that includes everything, right? And so this is a catch-all. So the British Isles are the whole lot, everything. And this is a geographic term, okay? But it's also a political term. Geographically, it refers to the entire set of islands, which includes Great Britain and Ireland, okay? Great Britain and Ireland. The two islands or island chains. Another way of looking at this is by political definition. It's the British Isles include the political complement of the United Kingdom, right? This, and the Republic of Ireland, okay? And that's where you get the British Isles. So either way you want to hash it up. I like to do geographically. It creates less tension, I think. And so the British Isles is the whole lot. That's it, British Isles, pretty simple, okay? And finally, Ireland. Again, you can define this politically or geographically. I like to stick to geographics because it's that much easier. It's just the whole island, right? These are island nations. The geographic term referring to the island of Ireland. That's it, right? And the island of Ireland includes both the Republic of Ireland, right, down here, as well as Northern Ireland, which belongs to the United Kingdom. Okay, so, and this is also a political term, depending if you are a unionist or a nationalist in Ireland. So that's it. You have all your terms. You understand the British Union Jack, and we're taking you back to the top and saying thank you for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed this and found this of value. Have an awesome, amazing day. Thank you.